You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Modern Family. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Modern Family news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Modern Family.
Hello!
All right.
Modern Family fans, what's going on? I'm Gian Molina, and I'm here with a lovely crew to talk about this week's episode, Modern Family, Episode 8, Season 3, Hit and Run. I'm here with Shannon Joy Rogers.
Hello.
What's up, Shannon? And I'm here with the EPN host for the Real Candy TV, Miss Shishi Yang.
Hello, hello.
And to my right, I have actress and comedian Miss Meryl Hathaway.
Hello, y'all.
What's up, guys? So we just finished watching Hit and Run, and right off the bat, David Cross.
The cold opening was great.
Yeah.
Right?
Great.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
absolutely.
Because we kind of have two scenes, like them running into David Cross and then the scene in the movie theater.
Right. And if you recall from last week, Julie Bowen had a run-in with David Cross when she tried to get the stop sign put on her intersection, and now we see him again.
Yeah. It's I guess he's going to be recurring as long as she's running.
Exactly.
That's a great.
Exactly.
I love them being enemies.
I saw.
Absolutely.
I wish I could have predicted that last week. With that, of course, this is going to lead her down the path to politics,
Which is
You
so
know-
perfect for Claire's character.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
God.
I've been waiting
Absolutely.
for her to have like a real nemesis and get out the house. You know what I mean? I've been waiting for this moment. I feel like they've been teasing us all the way down the road.
And David Cross is doing what he does best, obviously, in this, where
God.
he's just at the very edge of, he's so endearingly obnoxious in the most perfect way, his timing.
and he knows how to poke her buttons. And like we could see her, like we could see David just like, you know,
literally, by the elevator, the buttons.
literally.
Where he won't poke the button. Even his character name in this, Dwayne Bailey, just makes me want Claire to win, you know?
Dwayne Bailey. Oh my God.
It's like nails on the chalkboard, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we head over to my favorite couple in the show,
Mitch and Cam.
Mitch and Cam. Mitch and Cam. They're just out for a nice movie, and Cam, they're thinking they're going to see.
They think they're going to see something. I'm thinking
Yeah,
something
it's
R-rated.
A horror film of
yeah.
some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Cam spots that there's a little kid in the theater, and he's compelled to give his 2 cents. And Mitchell's like, stop it. And it turns out they're in the wrong movie. So he becomes combative and confrontive, and yet they're in the wrong movie.
They're in the Muppet.
They're in the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
I just love how just they're dynamic. They're dynamic in how he, like, either one at any time will be so wanting to get something accomplished, and the other one's like, stop it, don't do that. And yet their whole mission throughout the episode is to one up or like do what the other doesn't want them to do.
Yeah.
They had that. They created that very perfect balance with a couple and with each other, and they're both such large characters in their own way, but they're not large at the same time, which is the brilliant part of it.
Exactly. The status shifts every every episode to episode. We see the status shift, and we see either one take that super high status character and just drive that, or the other one like becomes a meek and just like, oh my God, this is gonna end up. I can't. He's gonna embarrass me, and I have to deal with this. And stop it.
You know, Mitch and Cam. Okay, those two together, they're kind of like the train that just won't stop crashing. You know what I mean? You think,
like,
okay, one train wreck is enough, but
it
no,
can't get worse.
I
It can't get
know.
worse,
And
then
to
it does.
me, like the most precious part of the show was when Lily, she overheard them talking about the Muppets, and she was like, "You guys saw the Muppets without me."
It was so sad.
Oh my goodness! It's like a bam. There goes another train wreck.
She took her pigtails and walked the other way.
He said, "No, Lily, just the first 2 numbers."
Yeah.
We didn't see the whole movie.
Yeah, and after like their little run-in, you think, okay, well, they had a little incident, so they're just gonna go about their day, and then, with the title of the episode, they get into an accident, and the dude leaves. The dude leaves.
Of course he leaves. Just because those two are the ones that would have to go and figure out what to do.
And I love how Cam chases after him. His hands. He always has
physicality.
It's kind of like a recurring joke for his hands to be like that flamboyant. Like,
he creates those bird hands. They're like beaks.
Someone should make a YouTube video of like Cam's best
hands.
running moves.
Someone's got to do it. Someone put a montage together.
This should be. I might look into that later. Actually,
they're so tough. Like they're so like. He wants to get justice, and I love that. I just love that he's like, no, I have to chase him down. I have to go after him. He hit us and he ran away. Like they're just so compelled to want to take matters into their own hands, and yet they can't. They're never really allowed to, except towards the end of this episode.
I did love also the dynamic of the two of them when basically Mitchell is basically saying like, no, we're fine. It's not a big deal. Nothing happened. And of course, Cam has to have something that happened. So the straw in the roof of the mouth was the only thing he could figure out was the thing that was that big injury. That was beautiful.
Yeah. I love how that dynamic also kind of changed towards the end of the episode. Remember how they went and they, together they were all like a mafia trying to chase back the $900 that the guy took, and it was literally up for Mitch to like catch the guy. Kim's been the brave one all along, but then it's like they miss a chance. He's darting from the back of the house, and then Mitch is like, oh my god, here's my opportunity. What am I gonna do? Am I actually gonna man up and do what Kim does?
One of my favorite parts of that moment also was, of course, that somebody had to yell out, he's getting out of his skinny jeans. And then Cam mounts him from behind to make sure he doesn't move.
Just mounts him.
That was really hot and steamy. By
He
the
had
way.
to do it.
The writing, how it takes us from all these different places. Like again, like that's something I'll talk about this show, which constantly surprises me, is the brilliant writing. When we start off, the whole mafia thing started with Manny's project.
Yeah,
right.
And just how like smart Manny is, like he wants to be homeschooled because everyone. And of course, the commentary on the school's education system.
Yeah. Some kid freestyle rapped his report
on Irish immigrants.
And Manny, like I love how brilliant they made Manny, and he delivers it so well. And he's like, he should have at least done a river dance. It would have at least been appropriate.
Yeah.
Not still a good report, but still more
something that relates to the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a fantastic joke that didn't feel like a joke, but that was so beautifully done.
It was delivered brilliantly. It was so great. And then the whole thing with Sofia Vergara's character where she wants to help but nobody's really allowing her to. Yeah, she feels like I have the answers. I have exactly what you all need, but nobody's listening to me because I make no it's so hard for her to talk. For people to understand her. I just find that so great that she just wants to keep helping, but nobody wants to help.
But in the end, she helps.
Exactly.
She does. In the end, she comes through. Jay has to give the proposal to Joshy, who he calls Joshy, and then he's like, "It's Josh now." As soon as he said that, I imagine him, going over to the family's house and knowing this kid from when he was a child.
Right. Exactly.
Like he's worked for this company for a couple decades, probably.
Sam Levine made that. Was Sam Levine
and he
from
was
Freaks and Geeks. He's so great.
Yeah, he was great.
God, being that I want you to blow my mind, the kid who
that analogy, the whole story was just like
he really nailed the classic sitting on the edge of the desk too.
Mm-hmm.
He had to do a little jump maybe to get onto the top of it, but he did, and it looked good. It looked strong.
Yeah, and it just proved like someone in power who shouldn't be in power.
Yeah,
which I think was kind of a little theme that we got to play with. And so now, and then going back to Julie Bound's character Claire going out running for office, and actually her, dipping her feet in there and just going let's try this, let's go and apply. While she's out doing that, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, Phil becomes the housewife. It's like the terrible Stepford wife,
and he does it so he's so loving about it. He's all like, "Oh, I got this."
He's confident. He's confident, Phil.
Yeah.
And then in one scene,
Yeah.
punches out his son.
Can't open a Band-Aid.
That was fantastic.
He gives
and
her
then
like
drugs.
Robitussin,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
nighttime like NyQuil or something.
Yeah.
I will say the physicalities in this episode were fantastic. Between
Definitely.
Cam's running and the hand,
yeah.
the physicality of getting pushed, of Alex actually passing out. I mean, all and not just passing out, but then Phil having to physically try to lift her up by her ponytail.
Like Weekend at Bernie's.
to keep her up. He Weekend at Bernie styled Alex. Absolutely.
She's reading. What?
My
I
favorite,
love it.
her
my
homework.
favorite line is like, "There's a drowsy one." Like,
Yeah,
there's
like
a
he didn't even
dress.
know it's in the house. He's like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" And like one word I would say, like the thing that I especially love about this episode is that they. Do you notice how many times they use the word assets?
yeah.
In different
Over and
contexts?
over
I
again.
loved it,
Yeah.
Over and over again in
Frozen
different ways.
assets,
Yeah.
Sophia Vergara's assets.
And every time Luke and Phil giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And there's that classic moment where the two of them giggle at the same time. They're both drinking out of a cup.
yeah.
That was great.
Her assets could be useful.
He'd be such a fun dad to have. Like,
Seriously.
God, it'd be so great, and that must be so much fun to like have
play
that.
and have that person on set every day.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
a blessing
Yeah.
as an actor.
You know,
Absolutely.
I actually got an opportunity to interview Ariel Winter on one of the red carpet events for Be a Star and Anti-Bullying. And she is like the most amazing little girl you'll meet your whole life. And so I asked her, I was like, you know, Ariel, if you could switch parents with any other families on the show, who would it be? And she gave me like the most compelling answer ever. She's like, well, you know, all the families have their ups and downs and different dynamics. However, I'm really happy with my TV parents because, you know, I mean, come on, she gets to work with these two amazing actors and actresses.
Yeah.
And I was like, so are we going to see anything different from your character this season? And she was like, yeah, you're going to see an edgier and darker side. And I was like, ooh, so is
There's
Alex?
a prediction.
Yeah, I was like,
Where
so
is Alex going?
I was like, is Alex going to be going to a guy's house? I mean, is she going to like start having a boyfriend?
Well,
'Cause
in
she
that
is-
previous episode, she did have a kiss. She shared a kiss on screen.
Yeah, and I
did.
couldn't figure out if that was the guy that she was Skyping, because she was Skyping somebody.
Right.
She
Yeah.
was trying to get Claire was trying to get them to get signatures. for her.
Exactly. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something to look forward to.
Alex
It's
is
out there.
growing old. Yeah, she
Uh-oh.
said this season they're going to see like a different dimension to her character, which I think is pretty cool. It's
And
about
she's
time.
so gorgeous when she's dressed up like at the Emmys or
Yeah.
wherever you see her. It's so
Yeah.
funny how different she is, and all of them are from their characters that they play. They
Oh,
play
right,
these
yeah.
up like so perfectly, not over the top. It's like
such-
right at the line. Like,
And the balance of it too, like the balance of how they interact with each other that's where I feel that's the chemistry of the show is so rich, and that's why we sink our teeth into just watching them. Like that's what we're doing. We're watching like it's almost like a day in the life in these families,
Yeah.
and it's so
and there's an aspect of every family that everyone
Yeah.
is familiar
Very
with. You can
relatable.
relate to, yeah, and
Exactly.
your own home, your own immediate family, or your closest family.
I think it's really fun for everyone to watch this show just because it is one of the very few rare instances when you're watching very reality based scripted television that does feel, I think what we love about it is it does feel very real, very relatable, and they're not pushing. You don't see the actors push. The
Yeah.
writing isn't pushed. It's just so very cleanly done, you know?
I like the fact they're not pushing because a lot of shows nowadays they're so based on like drama, scandals, who's breaking up with
Right.
who,
Yeah.
who's making up with
Yeah.
who. This is kind of like the modern day Brady Bunch.
And even with, Cam being as flamboyant as he is and Sofia Vergara being that gorgeous, over-the-top woman, it suits them very well.
Yeah.
And they play it to a T.
and those characters are so like they're so multidimensional. Like they're not.
Oh, completely.
It's not just like Sofia Vergara.
like that's
It's-
her thing, and that's all she
Exactly.
does.
She's just
It's
not like a body, the trophy wife, which is
Yeah.
at first like you're like, oh, I could see how this is fun to watch, but she's so brilliant and so conniving at times, and then she wants to, she wants to be helpful and wants to be respected.
She has so much to offer.
So much to offer, and they let that happen. Like they let the writers let that happen.
Can we talk about Phil for a second?
Oh, God,
and
yes.
how Phil might have an African American crush on one of these next couple
was
episodes.
so
Oh yeah, I
funny.
did.
Can we talk about that
did.
moment?
God, when he was like, I'm
that
just,
up.
I'm
Oprah,
just,
Serena Williams.
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
And then he was like, wait a minute.
he's attracted
Look,
to strong
Ty,
women.
I
but
just want to say, Ty, there are black women who find you attractive.
Uh-oh,
If you're out
Shannon's
there-
coming out.
Shannon.
Shannon's
I'm
coming out and
I'm
saying
putting
it.
my cards on the table.
All right, done.
There you go. There you
Done.
go. This is the best place to do it. Quit
it
and
all out
look
there.
into one of the cameras and just be like, Ty,
in case you're
I.
watching this.
Ty, I'm single. I have an education. I work hard. I'm gonna be Oprah one day. It's no big deal.
She's got some
It's
legs
no big
tied.
deal.
I'll attest to that
she's
too.
sitting, but
I'm
she's
5'10".
tall.
I'm tall.
Yeah.
Tall
I
drink
think
of
I might be
water.
taller than him. Actually, I don't know.
So it's safe to say the ball's in your court.
She wants to be
know where
pushed
to
off a
find me.
cliff by
Yes.
you.
Please, no.
Ty
What did he
Burrell.
say? He said, "I want to be the one that pushes you off the cliff." And she's like,
Again, the physicality of that moment too.
Yeah.
The show is so good at doing that. You know.
Well, I mean, it's they're not. These are like TV movie stars in their own right. Yet they're willing to put their bodies on the line and just have a good time for the comedy. Like I feel like a show succeed with that kind of commitment.
Yeah.
And they clearly all have that.
Oh yeah, totally.
The
They've
commitment
all
is everything.
fallen down that staircase that he's never
Yeah.
fixed his entire time.
They're
And
one
then,
step.
and the culmination of everything when they're all in the house, like I just love that. I love that it shows how like close knit a family could be without like being as related.
Yeah.
Or we can have people that are just grandfathered into the family or that were just not
Like
actually,
how, and Jay's talking about he's on the phone with Gloria waiting for his meeting, and he's like, "I have 8 family members that come over every week that expect free food. There's no way I can lose my
need
dad."
this.
I'm like, "That's so my dad right there.
I
That's my
need
dad
this.
right there." Yes.
So great. Luke becomes a bit of
A financier.
yeah.
I love his literal adaptation of Frozen assets. He's like,
Fantastic. He's becoming quite a little smart guy.
Yeah, and,
that one.
which I think he wants because like as we talked last week, he used to be in Mensa.
yeah, he is still.
He is
He's
still in
been
Mensa.
He's been in since he was 4.
Yeah,
Which is a
he's a
group that
little geniuses
yeah,
basically.
basically.
Wow.
We don't know.
The geniuses of the world.
Obviously, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I like that they're giving him as a kid he's probably just they're showing it as a kid he's probably just like I'm just saving some money but like
But yet, it's still stupid because he's putting his money in a block of ice.
He's freezing it.
is it stupid?
Okay. Yeah.
I
Is
like
it
how he
still gonna
tells
be good?
Haley, "I don't really have a lot of liquid assets."
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, don't underestimate this kid. Nolan Gold, right? I interviewed him like twice on the carpets. He loves to mess with Sofia Vergara behind the scenes.
Really?
He loves to
I would
mess
love
with her.
that.
Yeah, I was like, so what do you guys do for fun behind the scenes? He's like, oh, I trick her with English phrases she doesn't understand.
That's
I tell her I like
awesome.
to beat around the bush, and then she's in the bush looking for me. Yeah, I was
my
like, you are
gosh.
such a smart little cookie. That is awesome.
That's hilarious. He's poking fun at the
Yeah.
one person who speaks broken English.
I was like, what's your favorite part of the whole show? Like, give me your favorite scene. And she was like, he was like, remember when I sprayed her with a water gun?
Oh no.
is that
He talk
teaching
about
her-
a smart
teaching
kid.
her
He
how
knows
to
what he's
ride
doing
the bike?
already.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
was
funny.
fun.
Now, we see that Alex or Haley gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. She all that her searching for that money. What did she want? She wanted the fake IDs.
Fake IDs. She's grown up too.
She is.
Bad girl.
To get into a club.
Bad
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, come on.
Have you guys ever done that?
I never had a fake ID. I didn't.
Me either.
Really?
I never
I mean,
needed one.
I
really.
never really needed one either. And
Yeah.
growing up in Austin, the most thing you did from like 15 to 18 was going to live shows.
Yeah, live shows.
And and if you're under 21, you just get an X, so it wasn't
Okay.
ever, I never even got
Yeah.
asked really because I've been 5'10" since I was like, what, 3, 4 years
Yeah,
old?
you had that working for you. 5'3" over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make that face too?
I sure
You
did.
still get ID'd at R-rated movies right now, right?
It happens from time to time. When the pigtails come out, of course.
yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I'm rocking my Lily pigtails.
Well,
yeah.
my first fake ID was when I first moved to NYU for college in New York City, and it was like the big bad city full of everything glamorous, everything I
Right.
wanted to do, but I wasn't 21 yet. So I paid this guy like $150 to get a fake ID, and the end result, he accidentally put me as male from Ohio.
I was going to say he gave you like a Jewish last name
That's
or something.
hilarious.
Goldberg.
Yeah, Feinberg.
Gigi Goldberg.
Gigi Silverstein.
Right?
The one time I got kicked out for like being underage in a club. I was at my friend's like going away party and concert, and then in front of everybody they stopped the band and like with a flashlight just moved me
They
out.
removed you.
They removed me, but it was
With the
so
power
bad.
of light.
But I was like, they could have done it like get out, like whisper in my ear, get out. You're not supposed to be in here. But instead, they stop everything. Everyone's watching me, just like
And they made you follow a light like a cat.
yeah, just like follow this. Come on,
Oh my God.
Okay, so how many more friends did you make that night? That's pretty
Right?
bad. I'm not
none.
gonna lie.
I left.
I left. My friends were inside. I went home.
Exactly. I went home.
That's like instant street creds. I love it.
All right. So
Yeah.
we're going to go to a commercial break. DJ Jesse's on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. And we'll be back with some plugs, some predictions. Let's talk about the show. We love it. AfterBuzz TV.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Hey.
And we're back. That was dope. I want to do that all the time.
One more time, please. One more time, Gian.
And we're back.
Ooh la la.
There it is. There it is.
You. All right. Anyway, so let's wrap this up. Do we? Oh, so we're gonna see David Cross.
We're gonna see David
Yeah,
Cross.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I see David Cross coming back for at least 2 scenes next week.
At least 2 scenes.
I don't know.
I think so too.
I think this is an arc.
Man.
I think this is finishing the season. I think we're gonna see
There's gonna be a debate.
debates.
Yeah.
There's gonna be an election.
There's
Yeah.
there's gonna be a campaign.
Oh God, the family.
If there's
is,
a parade, I would
Yeah.
see the Dumfies on a float.
and of course, and you know that they're gonna
The
they're-
Pritchett
yes.
family.
you know that they're gonna come together as a family and
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
her win. That's gonna be beautiful, and I love that. I love that. So,
And you know that Gloria's gonna help.
Oh, Gloria's
Gloria's
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
it.
say Gloria's gonna add some type of Latin flair
yeah,
to Claire's campaign in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form that she can.
a running mate, perhaps.
Oh my God, stop it! If that would be the best prediction, actually.
I
if
agree.
Claire got, I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
would
I
be
know. Well,
incredible.
that's
That would
I
be.
say that because I would love to see that.
That would be
That's my
amazing.
prediction.
We should write a spec episode.
There's got to be a slogan that has something to do with Sophia's
That's
Yeah.
that's not a bad
Yes.
idea, Shannon. We
It's
should
like in
upper
Spanish.
body. yeah. Claire. Something.
Claire Patel Kelso.
Shannon, as a group, we should write a spec script and submit it. Why not, right?
Yeah.
We're fans. That's what
Sure.
a spec script, besides trying to get on the writing staff, is like a fan. It's fan fiction. This is what I would love to
yeah.
see.
I would like
What-
to shoot it. I mean, I'm ready to step in Sophia's shoes.
I can see that.
Errol can be Claire.
I'll be Claire.
I'll
You
be
can be-
Manny.
Okay, you can be Manny.
I'll be Alex.
Yeah.
I'll be
And I want to
Man-
make sure
Oh,
that
you don't
everyone.
want to be Lily? No.
I could be.
Oh, you could do it.
I'm like an
Lily.
overgrown Lily. You
Yeah.
guys will never get out unless I walk around with a little pacifier.
They could do a flash forward.
Yeah.
Of Lily.
True.
As an adult.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a lot to
Okay,
look
so
forward
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really fun. So
We've just written the next 7 seasons.
boom.
Keep it on the air. Keep it on the air. Keep
By
it on
the
the air.
way, Jason Weiner, the director of the show, who directed this episode, he took my headshots. My first headshots.
No way. Good for him. Round
full
of
circle.
applause.
Yeah,
He's clearly doing very well. Congratulations.
He's an ultimate improv. Like we're from the same theater.
Nice.
And like when I started doing improv, I would watch him do improv at our theater. And he was amazing. And when I was trying to get into acting, he did my first headshots. And he's the nicest dude and clearly
Very talented.
doing
Yeah. Yeah.
amazing.
That's
Are
fantastic.
you friends with him on Facebook?
We're friends. Like here's the thing. I think we've grown apart.
He's mad
so
about
much.
that show that Gian got kicked
Exactly.
out of.
Sorry.
He was there.
Bring me
Music
back.
stopped.
Bring me back to bring me to Modern Family. We'll reconnect then. I
happens.
recently saw him at I/O. He was the Armando host there, and that was really fun to see him. And it was good to just say hi to him and just be like, "Hey, man, remember you took my headshots?" And
You know, G, you should really submit your headshot along with your resume on Reel to him and see what he says.
I need to find my old headshot. It
okay.
was a
Find
black
the
and white.
original. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we gotta find that. Hopefully, I can bring that here. But before we leave, we're gonna wrap up. That was Hit and Run, Modern Family. We'll be back
Good
next
show.
week.
Very good show.
Ladies, if you have anything to plug, now's the time to do it. Any shows coming up? Anything that you want our viewers to check you out.
Follow me on Twitter, XIXIYANG.
Perfect.
And look up my Funny or Die, funnyordie.com/ShannonJoy-Rogers with the D, RODG.
I've got lots of videos as well on MerylHathaway.com, Twitter, Meryl Hathaway.
Awesome. And t-shirt update.
Oh, the
Did you
t-shirt
sell another
update.
one?
I sold another t-shirt.
Wow.
It's my current profile page. I'll
He's
post
taking this out for steaks.
that's t-shirt t-shirt number 6. So I will post that on the AfterBuzz Facebook so you can check out because she sent in a picture of her wearing the shirt.
Oh,
And
that was
nice.
That's
Cute.
great.
That's
so
really cute.
and she's from Connecticut, so I love it. I'm reaching Connecticut.
You're getting to Connecticut.
Connecticut.
It's only
Crossing state lines.
Yeah,
Chosen
exactly.
different area codes.
And of course, you can find me at gioncast.tumblr.com and Twitter at Gian Molina. We have been AfterBuzz. We'll see you next week for Modern Family.
Ciao. Bye, guys.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.